not seen the movie, do not watch this video. I'm going to say it again. If you have not seen the movie, do not watch this video. I'm going to spoil it. Okay, so I know I am filming another video in this same shirt, in this same makeup and earrings, but I just went to the movies and I went to see Queen and Slim. And I couldn't resist doing a video. I could not. I have so many questions, I have so many comments, I have so many, a lot. So we're gonna get started, so tune in for the rest of this video. Okay, so for Queen and Slim, uh-oh, I got my flashlight on, let me turn it off. Okay, so for Queen and Slim, I took notes throughout the movie because it was getting crazy. Like, oh, disclaimer, if you have not seen the movie, do not watch this video. I'm gonna say it again. If you have not seen the movie, do not watch this video. I'm gonna spoil it, and just watch this after you've seen the movie. Okay, now that we have that out. Okay, so I took notes throughout the movie. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So the beginning scene, they started, like, they didn't even do the, you know how they usually have the slate with the name of the movie and everybody takes the pictures, post it on social media? That didn't happen immediately in the beginning. What we started at was they were in a restaurant, a black-owned restaurant, and they were having their first date. So apparently they met on Twitter. No, they met on Tinder. And they was talking about why they swipe left, why they swipe right. And they were just doing this. But in the midst of this, we started seeing their personalities come out. So with the girl, we saw that she was very bossy in a sense. I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify, but I'm sure I can go on Twitter and they'll have their own theories. And the guy was more laid back but willing to answer questions. One thing that I saw was interesting that is at the beginning is that when he ordered his food, he ordered eggs and he ordered them scrambled. And she was about to make a whole scene that his eggs didn't come out scrambled, but that's not really anything to make a scene about. But we started getting a taste of who she was from that first scene. So they eat their dinner, they finish their date, and I guess he was on the way to drop her back off home. And as they're going home, they get pulled over. Okay, so this is the part that I think is funny. So this, all of this movie started from a guy's phone. So she had his phone. I can't remember exactly what she had his phone for. Oh, she had it to see the playlist that he was playing on the way back home. So she had his phone, she was going through his phone, and you know, that goes on. So he gets tired of her going through his phone, and he reaches over to grab his phone, and the car swerves. When the car swerves, that's when the police officer sees them and thinks it's erratic driving, and he pulls them over. So he pulls them over, he comes over and asks, has the guy been drinking? The guy kind of laughs because he doesn't drink. He asks him to get out the car. He asks him to put his hands up, license and registration. And then all of a sudden, they're fighting. They're tussling. The girl gets out the car, and she's like making it a bigger scene than it needs to be. A bigger scene than it needs to be. If she would have just stayed in the car and mind her business, we wouldn't be here today. But she didn't. So she gets out. Apparently she's an attorney. So she's like saying, well, you don't have a reason to search his car. You don't have a reason to do this. You don't have a reason to do that. The guy and the police officer started tussling. The police officer was basically going to shoot the guy, but the guy beat him to it. So the guy shoots the police officer. Now the police officer is dead. Oh, I skipped a part. The police officer shoots the girl in the leg, and he hits her, and they started fighting, and then the guy starts fighting with the police officer, and he shot him and killed him. Or should I say, fatally shot him, as we would say in the newsroom. But anyways, so they had the conscious decision to stay and just call the police, or they could leave and run. The attorney, the girl, advised that they should run. I'm gonna say that again. The attorney advised that they should run. What kind of legal advice is that? Explain. Explain to me what kind of legal advice is that. That's not logical. If you commit a crime, why would you run away? But then again, on the other hand, I understand that they had shot a police officer, and if they did call the police, that they were going to have some type of, you know, retaliation against them. So it was, I could see both sides. So this is, the whole movie is basically them on the run. So the first thing that comes to the girl head when they decide to run is to go to her uncle's house. So on the way to her uncle's house, they meet, they run out of gas, and they pull on the side of the road, and they see this other guy coming down the road. So this is crazy, y'all. I'm still trying to gather my thoughts. So they see this other guy coming down the road. They flag them down because they run out of gas. The guy pulls over. He's trying to be a good Samaritan, and come to find out, the guy is an officer, but he's off duty this night. So they don't find out the guy's an officer until the guy is inside the store getting the gas. And then they were going to try to steal his car, but I guess they decided not to. So they got the gas. They drove the guy all the way back to the car that broke down with the gun to his head. And then they forced him to get in the trunk, which was actually a good idea because they didn't have to kill him. That was my whole argument. Do not kill anyone else. You're already in enough trouble. Don't kill anyone else. So they put the guy in their car and they take his car. So from there, they go to Uncle Earl's house. So this is when things starts to get dicey. I think this movie was trying to teach us about trust and leaving a legacy and things you value in life. So she went to Uncle Earl's house. Uncle Earl has girls walking around in bras and thongs. So does anybody know if Uncle Earl was a pimp or was he just a player? Can anyone answer that? Because I'm not really sure. So they get to Uncle Earl's house, and Uncle Earl has his own illegal life going on. It looks like he maybe sell drugs or something. I'm just assuming because Uncle Earl had on a Gucci fit from head to toe. Uncle Earl just knew he was clean. So they get to Uncle Earl's house, and Uncle Earl has all these girls, and she tells him she needs a favor. So she basically needs a car and money to get to their next location, which they hadn't decided yet, but the guy just was like, we're gonna go to Cuba. So Uncle Earl at first was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that for you. No, no, no. And then she goes, you owe me. So everyone's antennas goes up. And once she says, you owe me, Uncle Earl just decides that he's gonna do everything she requested. So the movie goes on, and we later learn that the reason she owed Uncle Earl is because Uncle Earl killed her mother, and she got him off. And her excuse was that she was fresh, she had just passed her bar, and she was itching for a case to win. So she basically got Uncle Earl off for killing her mother. So I think that says a lot about her character, because I don't know about y'all, but I don't care about that. If you do something to my mother, nope, not helping. And then they get past Uncle Earl. So Uncle Earl's setting them up. He gives them the money. He gives them the car. And he gives them the name to one of his prison buddies that he met while serving his sentence for killing her mom. And they're on to the next. So they get to their next stop on the run. So this turns out to be a white guy and his wife, and Uncle Earl did warn them that the wife was kind of shady, but the guy was a good guy. So as they pull up, they tell the white guy who they are and who sent them, and they all sit down for dinner. And then all of a sudden, the SWAT team comes in. But the white guy had already noticed them, because I guess he is kind of used to this lifestyle. He saw their shadows, and he just told them to rush, go to the bedroom and get under the bed. So I love the way the producers did this, because the way they set it up as the audience, we saw it as, we looked under the bed, they showed us under the bed, and the bed just looked normal. And then it blanked out. And then all we see is the SWAT team come in the room where the two are, and they look under the bed and they're not there. So we're like, where did they go? Come to find out, the white guy has like this whole puzzle contraption that you can like climb under and lay under, just in case something like that was to happen. So they made it past that encounter with the law. And they laid there, I guess they laid there like overnight, because when they woke up, well, when we saw the next scene, it was daytime. So I guess they stayed there all night. And as daytime was happening, all we see is her say, you know what, I'm not gonna stay here all day, I'm ready to go. So she gets out, and then they give us a flash in the front of the house. In front of the house, all we see is the police officers searching the house, because they know they're in there. Because I forgot to say this part, when they went into the house, they gave us a little shadow that there was someone on their porch watching them go in the house. So that's how they got ticked off that time. So the people are asking the white people, where are they? We know you know where they are. People have said they saw them come to your house. And the white guy was playing it off. He was playing it off. He was giving it to him. And even the wife, who they thought was gonna rat them out or tell on them, didn't say a word, didn't say anything. When the police said, okay, your husband's being dumb, where are they? She didn't say anything. She acted like she was a mute. She didn't say anything. So they made it past that. They got out the house, and then they robbed, well, they went into somebody's shed. I don't really know whose shed it was, but they went into the shed and they got a car. He jumped the car and they was ready to go. And then the police officers who were in front of the house, this is the funny part, he thought he heard something, but the white police officers was like, no, you ain't hear anything, that's just nature. So he goes back there to check to see if he heard anything, and he sees them in the car leaving. And instead of going to tell all his buddies that he found him, he told them to go. So they basically got away from that. So the movie goes on, you know, it's cute, they fall in love, whatever. Then we get to the end, the part that caused all the controversy. So as they go to their next location, so when they're at the dinner, before the SWAT team came in, the white guy gave him a piece of paper for the next location. But what I think happened is that because the SWAT team came and the SWAT team was like listening to them, he didn't get to call his connections to set up their next move. So they went to the location, they sat there, they slept, and this black guy comes up. Cool black guy. He got the grills in, he's smoking, he's just a cool black brother, you know. He ain't gonna snitch on his people. He ain't gonna do that. So he gets them, he takes them to the house, he calls his people, and he you know, say, we got the next hookup, we're gonna get y'all where y'all need to be. So they were trying to go to Cuba, and they needed an airplane to go to Cuba. So he gets them to the house, and they were very reluctant to go with this guy, but they went. And he calls up his people, and then they go out to the thing. Come to find out, the black guy was the person who snitched on them. He snitched. And I think this is like a really important part I get from this movie. It's the people that they were, like, when they were in the car with him, their interactions with him, they was smooth, they was laid back, they didn't have their guards up, they were chilling, they were just enjoying life. And that was the person to tell on them. So I think one of the most important things I got from this movie is that the ones that you expect that won't turn on you and won't snitch on you are the ones that indeed will. And another thing is that, how many crimes did they commit in this movie? How many? Like, they murdered the police officer. They ran away from the crime. They stole a car. They was just going, oh! And how can I forget? So, the car broke down that the Uncle Earl gave them. And they had to find a mechanic. So, they found a mechanic, and the mechanic knew who they was. Like, basically, everywhere they went, everyone knew who they were because of social media. So what the police officers did was they took the dash cam video, put it on social media, it went viral, and it became like this black power movement, and it was inspiring young kids to be violent against police officers, which is kind of, it's crazy because they get into like the effect social media can take over a child's mind and how social media can impact a criminal story. So basically, if that would never got on social media, it wouldn't have become such a big story because it was a nationwide manhunt at that part. And then it was just, I would say that I did like the movie. Overall, I think it was a very good storyline, but I left with a lot of unanswered questions. I feel like I have to see a bit by bit what I was supposed to get from each part, because it was so many underlying things that I don't think I got it all, but it was a good movie. Oh, let me check my notes, because you know I was taking notes throughout it. Okay, so when they were on the run, as I said before, everyone knew who they were. And as I kept putting, all I see down my notes is, why did he trust people so much? Why are people so trusting in this world? These people had done nothing to earn his trust, but just because they verbally said that they had their back, he trusted them. And that's eventually what led to their demise. And I thought it was crazy that how things flipped. So in the beginning, the girl asked him, why don't you have a lot of pictures on your Tinder? He was like, I don't need pictures to be important. And then towards the end of the movie, while they were on the run, as they're at the mechanic shop, he asks for a picture. And then with the girl, she said she didn't believe in God. But then at the dinner, she was praying. So it's like, are they saying that experiences can change the way you think? Maybe. Also, Junior. So who is Junior? So Junior is the mechanic's son. The mechanic was trying to fix the car so they can go on the run. The mechanic already knew that they killed the people, but he didn't agree with it, but he wasn't going to snitch on them. And they were antsy because they were ready to go, and they knew that the mechanic knew, and they didn't want to, you know. So the mechanic asked them what can he do to get them off of his back for an hour or two so he could fix the car. And they said, you don't want keys, they don't want nothing. So he basically gave them his son to go for a walk. And the son was like idolizing them. Like, He was like, you guys really did that? I see you all over social media. And that was crazy to me because kids are watching things and idolizing them when they're not things to be idolized. Like, why are you so infatuated that these people took someone's life? But moving on, Junior the next day went to a protest in favor of the two that killed the police officer. And Junior somehow got a gun. And Junior wanted to be like them so bad that he shot this black police officer in the face. And what's so crazy is that the police officer was cutting him slack. He was like, little boy, just go on and go so we don't have any problems. I don't want to do this to you. I don't. Meanwhile, the police are like killing people everywhere. And Junior got killed because he killed the police. So 2 people lost their lives. This innocent young boy lost his life because of freaking being overexposed to things that they shouldn't be exposed to. Also, why they gotta let the boy at the gas station hold his gun? Yet again, another situation of him being extremely too trusting. And I think another part that was interesting is that when they was at the mechanic, he found a phone. He was always adamant about speaking with his family. So he called his dad, and his dad answered the phone, and he was talking to him, and he was just about to tell him where he was about to go, and the dad hung up the phone. And then it flashes to the dad's house. The dad was surrounded by the SWAT team, and the dad refused to help them find his son. So, I mean, that's a great thing because his dad was a writer. His dad was not gonna help anyone demise his son, so that was a good thing. Oh, and the music was so good in this movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna have to go find that soundtrack because they were jamming. They were getting it. But I'm gonna stop rambling at this point because I'm just going on and on. I could probably go on and on about this movie because it was so good. But I'm probably gonna have to do a part 2 when I read up on it, go to Twitter and see their theories and just see what's going on. So I'm gonna end this here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It was nice seeing you guys. Bye.